firing ballistic missiles into Saudi Arabia, folks. One a month ago was directed towards the airport in Riyadh. I was stationed in Riyadh. I've been to the airport in Riyadh, and this one was actually aimed at a palace. One of these is going to get through, folks, and when it does, you're going to see war in the Middle East. You're going to see oil at 100 to 200 bucks. This can get ugly very, very quickly. So obviously everybody's talking about tax reform and how high this market can go. Well, all it's going to take is something going bump in the night or one of these missiles to get through from Iran into Saudi Arabia, and you got war in the Middle East. So we always have to have one eye out on this, folks. I know there's a lot of retail traders are very, very tactical. You care about tax reform. You're looking at Bitcoin. You're looking at all sorts of stuff. And then all of a sudden, 2 days from now, the Dow's down 1,000 points and the VIX is up to about 30 because of something that you should have known about. So that's why we trade the way we do here at Top Gun Options: strategic, operational, and tactically. So we're going to do a strategic brief and an operational brief at 1 o'clock today with our accelerated retirement members. Really looking forward to that. The other day, the president gave a Reagan-esque brief about our new national security policy, our new way forward. He ditched global warming as kind of a national security threat and kind of replaced it with economic security, which makes more sense to me. Trust me, folks, I can't stand getting into a debate with somebody about global warming or climate change or whatever they call it. If you can't tell me how many genders there are or when life begins, spare me your opinion about the temperature on this big blue marble going up a half a degree in 100 to 200 years. It's not even worth. Save your breath. But in addition to talking about cooperation with Russia and China, he does label them as strategic competitors and that we need to keep a hairy eyeball on them. Remember Barack Hussein Obama chiding Mitt Romney in one of their debates that the 80s called, they want their foreign policy back, when Romney said, "Hey, Russia ain't no friend of ours." Yeah, who's laughing now? Well, obviously Obama's laughing on the speaking circuit after destroying our country. This thing's huge, folks, and when I say huge, I see it with a capital Y. The economy is going to start humming like you read about in Humming Magazine. The New York Fed is raising its fourth quarter GDP growth to nearly 4%. Existing home sales surged to an 11-year high. I'm sitting here down here in beautiful Fort Lauderdale. Florida is going to see a major housing market explosion after people in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts wake up to the realities of this tax bill and go, holy crap, we live in I don't feel bad for you folks anyway. I'm from Jersey. You get what you vote for, folks. You've been living in these Democrat-controlled high-tax states, and you're about to get what you deserve. So welcome. Please don't come down here to Florida, by the way. We have enough people this time of year from New York and Philly and Jersey. Go back to Jersey. Dow 25 grand is in sight, as of course everybody says all the tax cuts are priced in. I don't even think we've seen the beginning of this, folks. This is all theory, right? This market's been, I call this literally the hope and change rally. This market's been going up on the hope that we'll get tax reform passed. Once we actually see it start going into people's bottom lines, like mine as a small business owner, this thing is going to explode to the upside. I couldn't be more bullish, which of course means the market's going to implode, right? Goldman, good report about how this tax reform is really going to benefit the big banks. I can't stand Wells Fargo. We might talk about getting bullish on Wells Fargo in accelerated retirement today. Mom and pop banks are going to see a really big explosion with this as people get more money, get those consumer loans, those home loans, home equity lines of credit, new cars, you name it. This is looking good. Bitcoin spikes to Bitcoin Cash actually to 8,500 after a massive glitch. And they halted trading on potentially an insider trading probe. You think? Folks, this is the Wild West. There is no insider trading probe on this. It's them looking at them. There is no SEC. There is no government in here, folks, to look at insider trading. Enjoy your ride with Bitcoin, folks. It's comical. One of the, who is it, the Litecoin dude? The Litecoin guy, the guy that founded Litecoin, I don't even know what the hell it is, just cashed out after a $9,300% gain in 12 months, and he says it's all a joke. So he took his money and ran. So again, I'm going to move that stuff over here to the right because I really don't feel like talking about it. We're also going to talk about Apple and accelerated retirement 1 o'clock. Too many iPhone X's. Analysts have been downgrading Apple recently. Isn't it funny how they don't build an iPhone in the United States? they build them in China, with 10-year-old child labor. But Tim Cook and the limousine liberals, give Trump crap because he's Hitler, right? You're making 10-year-olds build your phone, Mr. Cook. But again, that's Wiz talking as Gordon Gekko, as a portfolio manager. I don't care. They're still going to have a crushing Christmas. We see Apple trading sideways going into Christmas, and then we're going to see it explode to the upside in January. Take that one to the bank. We have an Apple bull put spread on in this portfolio that's looking pretty good. JP Morgan downgrading, lowering Raytheon to neutral. We sold the hell out of that. Defense stocks are going to print money, not only going to the bottom line based on this tax reform, but folks, Trump just signed a $700 billion Department of Defense spending bill, man. Business is good. Air Force foreign military sales were up over 200% last year. You cannot keep the defense stocks down. If you think they went up under Barack Hussein Obama and sequestration, wait till you see them under a Republican president who likes turning our enemy into hair, teeth, and eyeballs. We got into a Jan 20 Raytheon long call diagonal here, and this thing's been the gift that keeps on giving. We've had about 3 or 4 bull put spreads on Raytheon that are looking good. Now, it's down a little bit today. It's hitting, we'll talk about this at 1 o'clock, it's hitting that bump line. You see this trend line? Bounced off it, bounced off it, bounced off it. We'll see if it bounces off it here. I'd look at a bull put spread at this 185, 180 out to January, man. I think once this defense or the defense bill is law, once this gets baked in, folks, I think Raytheon's just going to be printing money. So good case for Raytheon there. And we talked about CSX yesterday. I'm gonna wade into the transports here. It's going to be my 6th sector for 2018. We're actually going to do a 2018 debrief or 2017 debrief and 2018 brief next Wednesday, so keep an eye out on your email for that. But we're wading into the financials with CSX. My book here covers succession planning and how crappy a lot of companies do with it, like CSX. This guy drops dead and they don't know who the skipper should be. Well, that's pretty crappy. All these imperial CEOs, look at that. Since yesterday, Tuesday, what the hell? We put this trade on yesterday. Look at CSX. Look at that explosion in CSX since we got into it. Here's a hell yeah for all my members. In one day, we're up it was up yesterday as well when we got filled. We're looking at a 2% gain at CSX in a day. I told you, Gap moved down on that bad news. Get into it. They're going to continue on their turnaround plan. This infrastructure bill that is up next after the president puts tax reform to bed will be huge. Huge for the transports. We got to move dirt, Tonka toys, people, trucks, steel, CSX. Great trade in one day, and that's a Jan 20 trade, folks. And I'm also going to look at a bull put spread on CSX, maybe an accelerated retirement. So we have a lot going on here, folks. We're having an absolute blast here at Top Gun Options. A lot of good stuff going on. I strongly recommend you get on board before we close out the end of the year here on December 31st. Hint, my birthday, because most likely we're going to see an increase in our membership fees. We're definitely increasing our lifetime membership fee from $12,500 to $15,000 because that $12,500 was a little bit below market, but you have that locked in if you're a current member up until December 31st. After that, in 2018, our lifetime membership goes up to $15,000. Okay? All right, folks, I got to run. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. And I'll see many of you in the Accelerated Retirement Brief at 1 o'clock.